Hey, I'm John Greaves III. I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life, and I am here where you wish you were at the American Barbell booth at HFA 2025. I'm standing next to the man himself, Phil Patty. Now, Phil, we were upstairs talking during my morning show, up way too early with Garage Gym Life, and you mentioned that that platform right there is dead bounce. So if anybody were to drop IL Padrino, your new deadlift bar, it wouldn't go anywhere. I would think there's a magnet. However, I'm not from Missouri, but let's pretend I am. Prove it.
All right, Daniel. Show us how it works. Maybe you should do it again.
All right. That was pretty. Okay. All right. That doesn't happen. For anybody who just saw that, that doesn't happen. Normally, well, on the worst platforms, that bar yeets all the way across the floor. But even on some of the best ones, it's gonna move more than that. So before we talk about the platform, because I'm kind of looking at admiring IL Padrino, tell me what goes into making a barbell that looks like that and can handle that?
Well, this bar in particular is unique because it's approximately 1 foot longer than any conventional Olympic bar, and the diameter is 27 millimeter, meaning that it's one of the smallest diameter
Whippy.
bars. Very whippy, because the deadlifters want that thing to bend like a noodle.
Yes, indeed.
To help them with just the overall momentum of the lift.
Right.
So to have it a foot longer and the sleeves be 2 inches longer, it was a real challenge to make it weigh 20 kilos. So what we did was we made a special sleeve. We machined the collars a little bit differently, and we were able to pull it off and get the weight that we desired. So it's got amazing aggressive knurl that is not sharp. If you feel it, you can feel that it's...
I can feel it. Like,
It's very
if
aggressive.
I was doing
but it's not
singles, I
sharp.
wouldn't even need chalk.
It's not sharp. It's aggressive,
Yeah.
and that's an art form in itself from a machining standpoint.
Talk to me about these sleeves because they look unusual. They're not like sleeves like I've seen on other barbells. So when I saw the IL Padrino last night at your grand opening of your Las Vegas showroom, I saw it, but there weren't any plates on it. And so I was like, well, why are the sleeves shaped like that? So can you explain why is this little mushroom? This is unique. I've never seen that before.
Well, it's two factors. One is the sleeve is a little bit longer,
Okay.
and the guidance that I received from very serious deadlifters were that they wanted the weights pushed out farther on the sleeve.
Okay.
So a
I got you.
conventional bar is back with the plates is back here.
Okay.
So they wanted it kicked out.
Okay.
So I
gotcha.
did that.
That makes sense. And so basically, it's the little collar part of the sleeve.
Correct. You
That
can see
pushes
that
it
it's
out,
farther
yeah.
out compared to a conventional bar.
That's actually going to make it easier to break the floor as well because the plates are further away from the center of gravity of the
It
bar.
is.
Nice.
It is.
I really
Definitely.
like that. All right, now let's move on to the platform because that's that's also the star of the show today. Why is this platform? I mean, like, why doesn't it go anywhere? I don't even know how to phrase the question. What's going on here?
Well, there's secret sauce inside,
Oh.
but basically what we've done is we've created platforms that are available today are generally a single surface where once you wear out the top, you have to replace it. So what we did was we went with a much higher quality rubber that's symmetrical, meaning the same size. You can,
Okay, right.
So when you wear out the top, which takes a while, you can flip it over and it starts over again.
Okay.
Well, what we've done that no one's ever done is if that wears out, you can go inside and pull out another piece of exactly the same rubber. You can pull it out, bring it on top, and it all starts over again.
Nice.
So the bounce and the bounce control, we also put an underlayment on the very bottom that allows the drop zone to adapt to any floor.
Nice.
Yeah, because concrete's one thing, but in some buildings, especially high up, you've got floating floors, soft floors, and it's just a mess.
That's actually what I thought about for this. So there are people who have their gyms on maybe the second floor of a house or somewhere like this, or maybe even an apartment where they don't want the people below to hear them, you know? And so
Correct.
that's immediately what I thought of because that wasn't very loud at all.
Correct.
So it sounds like the way that you built it is going to muffle the sound as well too. Is that accurate?
Well, a key component there is the quiet bar.
Okay.
The fact that our bars are the quietest in the industry, and I can show you if we can pan for
Heck yeah, let's
1
go.
second.
We'll follow you all over the place.
If you can see what happens when you drop our bar,
Oh wow.
there's no sound.
Yeah, normally
So
you
you
hear
can see
rattling.
that, right? Very low noise. And so that's a huge part of it, because if you have a bar that has a lot of clanking going on, that's further sound resonation going on through. So unlike other platforms that in the drop zone area sink after a short period of time and people are being asked to flip the rubber around upside down, reversed, whatever, to get more life, you won't do that with ours.
Okay.
Our system all the way through is bulletproof. It's unlike anything that's ever been developed before. I also replaced the stand zone with a very, very high impact resistant. It's a style of a board. It's a proprietary, not a plastic, but composite. Let's call it composite.
Okay.
Everybody's favorite word. The beauty is it's sitting on a bed of foam that feels like a rock, so it supports it. But this is impervious to water.
Nice.
Yeah, that's foam. You're standing on foam. That's only
This is foam.
under.
Okay.
That's only a ½ inch thick, and that's a huge piece of foam, and that's foam you're standing on.
Oh, wow.
So what that does is it gives you a standing zone that'll never wear out. It might get marked up a little bit, but not like wood that splits, cracks. And the wood stand zones today are super heavy, and if you need to replace one, it's $1,000 or more. So this thing just has benefits throughout.
Now, I got another question here. I'm going to go ahead and take this collar off for just a second. So that answered my question.
What was it?
My question was, sometimes there's plate slop because of the tolerances of the hole for the plate. And I noticed that this didn't walk at all, even when he dropped it. A lot of times when you drop it, even if you have the best bumper plates or whatever, as the vibration makes it walk a little bit towards the end of the sleeve, and that didn't budge.
Right.
So do you guys specifically manufacture your tolerances for your plates to your specific barbell sleeves?
Well, the barbell sleeves are an industry standard, and because we produce our own plates as well, we control the tolerances. It's precision machining. It's funny, an important note is that I've been asked 100 times, why if you make a stainless bar, don't you make a stainless sleeve? Well, the stainless sleeve is too soft.
Right.
And being the original creator of the first hard chrome Olympic bar, I never made a sleeve any other way than hard chrome because it's super, super hard.
Right.
And you've got a hard chrome hub, center hub in the plates, and so it just combats the damage.
Gotcha.
It also makes it slide smooth, and of course, if you zoom in and look at our sleeves as to how precision machined they are on the surface, they're super smooth, they're not ribbed.
That's what I was about to say. There's no ribbing on the sleeve.
Well,
And I know you're not a fan of that.
no, not at all. I tell people all day long, a ribbed sleeve is quick machining, equating to fast, cheap.
Okay.
To get a smooth sleeve like that, it's a slower machining speed and it's much more precision.
Nice.
So,
Okay, I can't walk away from this without playing one time, making everybody else jealous.
you gonna drop it?
Oh, yeah.
Do it. Pick it up over your head. You can pick it up to the next level.
I
if you
don't know
can.
if that's
But that is a
That is
huge,
dope.
It's a huge bonus when people put these things too close. And I tell people, I've seen where it's the most dangerous is with a single plate. I've seen these things fly out forward into the user. It's extremely dangerous. So when I get asked, why would I spend the extra money? And not that it's super expensive. Again, I tell everybody, we're a manufacturer, so we're always going to be very well priced because we produce what we sell. But you don't skimp. Here's another safety thing. You don't skimp on that.
Right.
One catapult and breaking somebody's leg, you'll wish you would have spent the money.
Yeah, and like I told you earlier, I mean, my little girl is in the gym with us as we're training. If that breaks, it may not hurt me. It might hurt her.
Absolutely.
It might hurt my wife. I'm not down
Absolutely.
with that at all. So
Absolutely.
how long do you guys warranty your bar?
The bars that I produce have always been what we call a limited lifetime warranty. As I told you today, I've produced over 250,000 bars, all U.S. made, and I've only replaced probably, or let me say, I've only seen about 8 bent ever.
Oh, wow.
And it's always been because somebody drops a bar like that on half safeties or something similar, and that'll put a bend in a bar. So, it's the old story. If something fails that shouldn't have failed, we're always standing behind everything. I don't care what it is.
Good.
But our track record for warranty is really, really low.
Nice. All right, talk to me about this rack since we're over here anyway.
Okay?
It looks like it's customized to Pulse Fitness. I see your header. You were talking to me about the light behind the header. So that's something that you guys created, the logo with the light behind it.
Right. I mean, it's nothing, super revolutionary, but nobody's ever done that. So when I started making platforms and with logoing and, customer branding so important to so many people, I partnered with a slot machine face manufacturer here in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
To make me these cool little logos, and we just drop them in and we LED light them, or can also show them unlit. It's just a fast, unique way, and it looks cool. And as you can see, this is our stainless steel rack. I like to think that it's another industry first. There's been people that have done stainless, but not at the level that we have and the volume, but all produced by us. Stainless has a very high perceived value.
I like the fact, like even with these Hatfield handles, your knurling is not all the same.
It's all
like
different.
there's no reason to chew your hand up to do Hatfield squats.
Right.
I mean, if that's your thing, sure, but there's no reason to do it.
No.
But then with your pull-up bar right there, yes, it's a little bit thicker diameter, but it looks like that knurling is a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
It's a
little bit more aggressive. It's a deeper knurl, a different die for more aggressive knurl, and it's a balancing act.
This is going to be a grip challenge because it's so thick, but yeah, it's like,
Well,
I wouldn't even have to put chalk on it.
it's for the person that we offer it. That's 50 millimeter, and we offer it in 32 millimeter.
Okay.
It's like, we make dumbbells. We're the premier dumbbell manufacturer, commercial manufacturer in the world. And I used to wrestle with handle size, and now all of a sudden we have put in a 38 millimeter handle on 105s and above, which is big. But anyway, then I started to realize if you can pick up a 105, you're not worried about that handle. You actually want that bigger handle. So this is just a preference. We offer it in different diameters, and it's the customer's choice. And of course, with multiple platforms, then you can break it up.
Right.
A 32 here, a 50 there, whatever.
Gotcha.
Before we get started, I'd like you to pick up these 200s and curl them.
Okay. Oh, girl, I don't know if I can do that. I can pick them up.
Don't even try to pick them up. It's funny, even the strongest people I know, well, I've made 3 pairs of 200s for Ronnie Coleman.
Okay.
And you can see him on YouTube today using, when you see him yelling, "Hey buddy," in the videos
Then
with
the
a pair of
peanut,
cast iron. I made those for him back
Oh,
in,
sweet,
my
okay.
gosh, that was late 90s.
Nice, nice.
But anyway, this is our...
My brother would salivate over that because he was trying to make when he was trying to do crock rows, he needed a 200-pound dumbbell. He could not find one. He ended up kind of cobbling something together. This is what he was looking for.
It's insane. We actually have a request right now for a set of 210s to 300s.
Yep.
I don't get it. I mean, the strongest people, Lou Ferrigno's a friend of mine, and he never trained heavier than 120s.
Well, it depends on what kind of athlete, strength athlete you are. So if you're a power lifter and you want to balance out the fact that you're benching 400, 500 pounds, that upper back has to be able to handle that.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to grab in general. So you can see here that this is a 35 millimeter diameter, where this is a 32. So as we grow up the food chain, they start to get bigger.
Gotcha.
But you can see this is not super aggressive. So you'll always get people that want a super aggressive knurl, but they're one-offs.
Right.
It's not the masses.
And this, so it's interesting to me that it still fits on the same size rack as the rest of them. You just had to move the cradles out.
No, this is the custom rack that I just finished and launched.
Oh,
It's
okay.
wider and it's farther apart.
Gotcha.
So because when you start getting some of these irregular shapes, like a Panada dumbbell that we just created for them that has a lot of urethane mass, but the steel's smaller inside, the diameters have to grow. So this will now accommodate a 9-inch diameter head, where these are 8, and the industry has always used 8s. So people are starting to change, and so this is a very unique rack. And then you can see that this 200 is not hanging off like your conventional rack. So that's brand new. We just launched that.
Nice, nice. So tell me about the head of the dumbbell. So you were affiliated with Iron Grip, and I remember Iron Grip. We actually had a pair of Iron Grip dumbbells at the gym where I worked when I first got out of college, and they were the most. So before, obviously, that. For those of you who don't know, we used to get these. That's just the nicest word I can use is garbage. Hex dumbbells from overseas, and they weren't actually. They were barely just kind of tack welded, spot welded on the ends. Iron Grip was the one that had it drilled down into the core of the dumbbell, and it was all one thing. All right. And so this reminds me of that. but with some differences. So tell me about these dumbbells and how they're connected. I mean, without revealing proprietary information.
Well, how deep do you want to go on the dumbbell?
How long you want to talk?
Well, I can tell you enough as to what I do differently, for sure.
Well, tell me about the coding and then go.
Well, so this is a very high, people like to use the word, they throw it out, CPU, TPU. CPU means cast polyurethane. So urethane, when you think about a urethane compared to a rubber, I always, when I'm doing any kind of sales demo or training, I tell people, think about a skateboard wheel and how a kid or whoever can fly through the air, fly in the air and hit the ground. If that was a rubber wheel, it'd come off on the first jump.
Okay.
It'd be destroyed. Urethane is so durable, if it's done correctly, you can drill it, you can tap it, you can beat the crap out of it. It's used for dumpster wheels on heavy, garbage dumpsters and things like that. But producing it and pouring it in, making it into a dumbbell is a science. And so we use a very high level German urethane. This is our proprietary US spline handle on this. So I have a utility patent that I developed many years ago where this head is actually pressed on to the handle with a male and a female connection.
Sweet.
So it's the world's first dumbbell that was ever created that gets stronger the more you drop it.
Oh, wow.
No one else can make that claim.
Nice.
Where your conventional welded dumbbells that people offer, the solids like this, are either welded, like when you mentioned iron grip, they weld back here.
Right.
A lot of the imports are welded on the face and never on the back.
Yeah.
But the problem with a welded dumbbell is that you have limitations on how strong the handle can be, because like bars, the parameters change. You cannot weld a high strength handle without putting tons of costs into preheat, post-heat methods. It's a mess. So with the spline handle, what I did is I used a heat-treated handle, and because it's not welded, I have a super strong handle. 250,000 pairs, or no, 2.5 million pairs plus, all commercial, and we've never had a claim for a bent handle. Never.
Wow.
That's number one. Our welded version is done completely different with a proprietary, also a utility patent I have on the welded connection inside that allows you to get a full strength dumbbell without all kinds of other crazy stuff going on. So this is our welded version with a medium strength handle. This is our super duper best on the planet. They're both commercial.
Right.
But this has a story behind it, and this will work anywhere in a commercial environment.
I remember when I first started my home gym in 2001, first of all, we really could only find commercial stuff. But as a result, we all preferred commercial because it's like, if it can last in some commercial place where people are doing dumb things to it, then that's going to last here in my house where it's just me treating it right. And so I think that's one reason why your brand is so popular with home gym enthusiasts, because we know your stuff is durable. It's been stress tested in the worst environments.
Right.
All right. And now let's talk about the stuff that you have over there. I want to talk about your shelving a little bit, and then also your medicine balls and all the other stuff you have over there.
We can. One thing I wanted to close out on this is commercial's the buzzword. When I tell people that we're really one of the only commercial manufacturers in the world in this space, it's accurate. Again, I know everybody who does this. You look at Hammer Strength, it's a great product. I've collaborated with Life Fitness for 35 years, and I produce a lot of goods with them, with and for them. That's a commercial product. Iron Grip is a commercial product, but again, I helped those guys develop a lot of their stuff early on. All of the other guys that just go to China and buy products like this, they're just rebranding them. They don't have a say in how they're put together, how the urethane is produced, how you bond the material to the steel. And one of the biggest secrets of our commercial dumbbells is that we bond this material to the steel core. So unlike, dumbbells that are just urethanes poured over rusty, dirty, oily steel cores inside, our core is part of the urethane, and or the core is one. It takes a jackhammer to get this off. So that's why I use commercial as the buzzword. And when you think about it, very, very few commercial players. But what I tell people is liability is so high in this industry that it's kind of like a non-smoking section without a wall.
Gotcha.
The smoke still can come through. So what I tell people all the time is when they say, oh yeah, well, we're a home gym company. Well, you can't control if it ends up in a gym.
Correct.
And that's the potential disaster. So I mentioned to you earlier that we own our own factory. I and one partner own our factory in China that we produce our rubber products and we formulate our urethanes, a bunch of other stuff. Some of this stuff we buy out, but it's controlled by us. Over the years, I've had to weather slam balls with plugs coming out and wall balls made in China that had sand in people's faces. 30 days later, I threw away 4,000 resistance tubes with handles for failures. This is back 15, 20 years ago. And things have evolved a lot. But what we do today is we ensure that we understand how things are connected on things like hex dumbbells. I've seen tons of them where heads fall off.
Yes.
You cannot have a head falling off. It's not an option. So things like that, again, we control. And this is just our stainless rack. It comes in 42 wide or 66-inch shelves. It can be 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, logoed anything you want.
Nice. I like that. So this is the kind of product, again, people think home gym and they think like, oh, the garage, but I know several people who have barn gyms. So it's at their house, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Well, they say, I got space, I'm gonna put a gym in a barn.
Yeah.
And I got space to put whatever I want. This would be epic for something like that because you can store all your stuff in one place, have it out of the way. I really like it.
Well, and it's like the dual pulley over here is the same theory. Basically, we also take this dual pulley and we take these single pulleys and we, instead of at an angle, we put them straight, and then we can connect them with storage shelves in the back. We can do all kinds of things. So we kind of just make an erector set program out of it across the board. So that's what we do. And you know, one thing too, if I didn't mention, I tell people all the time, there's a ton of companies that make tubing with holes in it. But we're really one of the only companies, if not the only company, that actually makes all the other stuff. So when you think about, we make metal, we make dumbbells, we make bars, we make our own plates. We're across the board a real live manufacturer. It would shock you to know how many people don't make anything that they sell.
I believe you.
It's pretty shocking. Even the big guys. The big guys make their core products, like a Techno Gym, for example, or others, a Matrix. They might make their cardio and their strength, but they don't make their dumbbells. They don't make their bars. They don't make their plates. They don't make any of it. So we're really, really in a different level. And one thing, if you have time before you go, I'm going to show you one of the most popular things that I make. This is a high-strength aluminum cable attachment that we make.
Oh, wow, that's light.
Super light, super strong. Stronger than
the grip.
Well, it's a gun grip. And so the same company that I pioneered a Cerakote barbell with made this grip for me back in, I think we launched this in 2003. And since 2003, I have never replaced a hand grip, not one.
This is nice.
And if you see that little blue line, that's the bonder. So take your fingernail and try to peel it up and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. So it's lighter. I did this.
It's not going anywhere.
So aluminum is 66% lighter than steel. If you do the right kind of aluminum, it's as strong or stronger than steel. So when you look at things that we do like this, and let's see if there's a different version that has a different safety. So if you look at this, you can see this little bolt here under the eye. That's tamper resistant. So in addition to grips that don't wear out, 66% lighter than steel, a great grip that doesn't wear out, and people love it. And we're all about safety. So in addition to tamper-proof mechanisms, the last thing I'll show you is how we do things. So like with this handle, this is a high wear, high liability item. We don't just use a strap, we use a box. There's a red liner in it. When it wears out, you start to see red, that's when you throw it away. Not only do we sew it like everybody else does, but we add the additional rivets for safety in case somebody comes into the gym and tries to play with a razor blade. And yes, it does happen.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Well, people create.
I told you, I used to work in a public gym. I've seen people drop dumbbells on their face, where it breaks and then the head falls on their face right after you told them not to drop the dumbbell.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff.
No, the liability is crazy, and like I said, everything I design and build, the first thing I think about is how can it break and how can somebody get hurt. And I will tell you this: it's like the pull-down bar. I had to loan it to Panada. I was going to show you the lap bar. But it was so funny. Somebody on one of the home gym sites, they asked me about dangerous products. And I gave them a list, and I said the lap bar is one of the most dangerous items in the gym. And some wise guy said, oh yeah, well, when you walk by it and it hits you in the head. And I said, no. How about when the cable breaks and you've got 300 pounds on the stack and it goes feather light?
Yeah.
The resistance, and all of a sudden you hit yourself in the head, you can kill yourself. I mean, it'd be no different than if I clubbed you over the head with a steel bar.
Yeah.
So we make it in aluminum, and then we also put a rubber head protector underneath it. It's still going to hurt, but it's not going to kill you.
Right.
So it's things like that. That's what we're all about: safety, and durability.
Man, this has been an awesome tour. I love all the stuff that you guys have here. I love the innovation and the thought that you put into each and every one of your products. So before we let you get out of here and get ready for the crowds to get in here, if somebody wants to buy your products, if they just want to see what American Barbell is up to, if they want to listen to your podcast when it comes out, American Barbell Unleashed, how can they find out more about you guys? Where should they go?
The best way is to contact us directly.
Right.
I mean, you can always go to the website, but now that we built this awesome showroom and training center in Las Vegas, it's fairly easy to get people into Vegas.
Yeah.
You can come in and you can work out. We're going to bring, coaches from universities that are going to come in and bring groups.
So you have seminars and everything?
Absolutely,
Awesome.
because our network, our in-house network, has several elite trainers at the NFL level, the sport-specific trainers. These are guys that have been real live athletic trainers for 30 plus years.
Sweet.
So those are the types of seminars. And then I'm available to, I just did 2 or 3 tours the other day talking about quality, durability, the whole thing. And I love somebody mechanical. I did a seminar for a group called Choose a couple days ago. And at the end, I had the guy come up to me and he said, I'm the director of purchasing and I'm a mechanical engineer. And he goes, I understood everything you talked about. And he goes, nobody's ever brought that stuff up to us before.
Oh, yeah, well, you're throwing around words like hydrogen embrittlement and all that. And so I'm like, oh, I need to study before I talk to this guy.
Those are landmines, I'm telling you. And it's like I said, I've seen bars. I'll tell you, I'll cap off something for you on bars. So the few people out there that have claimed to have bars with a 240,000 tensile strength, which is ridiculous, it's impossible. When I did a little investigation as to how they got those bars that hard, there's 2 types of hardening. There's a case hardening and there's a through hardening. And it's like it implies, through is all the way through the metal, which is the only way you ever want to harden a bar. And when you case harden it, they do that because if the material, they're trying to get it so hard, but you can't machine it, so then you have to harden it after the fact. And when you case harden it, that's great for a knife or something, but as I mentioned today, not something that bends constantly. So there's so much to know about bars that I just go deep on bars and I say, man, you gotta be really careful who you buy a bar from.
Awesome. Phil, thank you so much for everything. You guys, go check out American Barbell on Instagram, check out American Barbell on YouTube, and check out AmericanBarbell.com because that is where you guys can connect with Phil, all of his knowledge. He's got a podcast coming out, American Barbell Unleashed. You do not want to miss all this. So this guy is a fountain of information, and please don't cheat yourself. Get connected with him.